Hey everybody, Dauntless here, and thank you for dropping by again after my 6 month hiatus. Uh, I'm not sure how well it'll be getting back into videos. I have classes coming up again, but I really wanted to put one up, and I'd like to thank the couple people who actually started watching my videos after I had stopped and started messaging because I saw that and I was like, huh, maybe I should give it another shot and, do something with it. So right now I'm actually between classes. So I finished Fire 1, Fire 2, hazmat, first aid. So now I'm working on getting my EMR class, that training done, which will be next month. And it's not even that much of a class. It's a couple weekends of 8-hour classes, 3 days, one weekend, and then an 8-hour class, and then a big O test just to make sure you know what you're doing. But basically, that means my training period is done. I'm still going to be signing up for different classes and stuff here and there to make sure that I know what I'm doing and I can basically keep the training I have fresh and get new training so I can kind of just keep myself, what do you say? Basically, make sure I'm doing as good as I can. You'll notice I'm also in my new area here. I told you about this really nice paneling here, the wood. I think it looks awesome personally. It's a nice little cozy area down here. Um, I have a coffee maker behind me, which I can't even fill with water because it opens up and kind of hits on there, so you can't really fit anything in there unless it's like a really small bottle, which I've been drinking water like crazy lately. Speaking of which, I've had a cold for the last 3 days, so I apologize if my voice is kind of off right now and I cough a little bit. You also notice I'm like growing a mustache and stuff, which you could just call that, firefighter peer pressure, but at least it's not, really bad type of peer pressure. Excuse me. Excuse me. But anyway, so I haven't played this in forever. I don't remember as much about what's going on. I do remember that one of the posters mentioned that the way you can tell there was a cave in that one area where the baggie was is by the bubbles, and that is true. If you look, you can see bubbles coming up from that one spot regularly. The only thing I would say is there's a lot of bubbles in the game since you're underwater, and I guess they do kind of tell you a little bit of areas you can go to. But I just, I guess I personally think it's not quite enough. If I say look, I would like it to basically give me a text option to tell me if there was, say, a cave or something down, hang on a second, uh, down here or something like that, or if this was an opening. So right now, I'd have to go and check it out, which I don't think there's anything there. Yeah, see, but that's just me. I like it if I type look and it gives me a bunch of information, and then I can take my look commands, narrow it down to specific aspects on the screen, and then there you go. Uh, let's see. What else is there? Oh, you'll also notice that my score is different from when I stopped before. The reason is because I tried to make a couple videos and they sucked. So it didn't work out. I ended up getting pages and stuff like that, but I I've been having this cold, and if you have a cold, it's kind of hard to do anything because you put on an air mask, and all of a sudden it's like you're sitting there going, no oxygen already. So I'm trying to limit my calls to very specific stuff, and at this point, I figure, taking 30 minutes to go make a video won't kill me. But anyway, so that is why I ended up making a few videos, and I was saving over stuff, and unfortunately, I had to go back earlier today. First of all, I had to research and figure out where the heck I was before and how I got there, and what I had and hadn't done, and then I had to play through the game from a certain point until I had gotten back to where I was, and I think I still missed something, obviously, because I'm 5 points short. But anyway, so I have the speed turned up to fastest because it actually goes just a little bit quicker, and it's nowhere near as bad as you would think. So we went through the ship. And now I'm trying to... Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. This is the part that... Okay, this you haven't seen yet. And again, I have done a little bit of this, but not much. Remember I was said I thought I'd use the tentacle on the thing to maybe scare it? Well, on that shark thing, you decide to try something. You whip out the pieces of tentacle you retrieved earlier and start waving them around madly. The squid, upon coming into contact with your tentacles, stops, surveys them with its tentacles, and apparently has decided that you aren't food. It obviously, having lost interest in you, wanders off into the cave. My, aren't you the smart one? And then, I'm going to set the speed down to fast so I don't end up, like, missing something. You have entered a dead-end cavern. There is a strange object embedded in the cavern floor. There is also what appears to be a plaque on the cave wall. Obviously somebody or something placed it there. Ugh. And from the looks of it, some time ago. You look intently at the plaque, but alas, it is in a strange language. However, since we're in the Space Quest tradition here, you'll get a few concessions as Roger the Man Wilco. Ain't ye special? Anyway, the plaque says, "Here resides the magnificent Oracle. It is an ancient wonder with an origin clouded in mystery. To all who have reached this wonder, touch the Oracle and see what is yet to happen, what is happening now, or what will be of importance." Wow, I cannot believe it. What importance to your life? Can you believe that? The one time I decide to make a video after 6 months and somebody manages to call me dead center of it. Ah! If that happens again, I'm gonna seriously, yeah. Or what will be of importance to your life? Okay, well, that's good. It sounds like the Mirror of Galadriel. There is no way to predict what the Oracle will show you. May it guide you well. In other words, I could end up accidentally watching an episode of Friends. Please no sitcoms. You rub your hand on the Oracle and something begins to happen. Ooh. The strange object embedded in the cave floor appears to be spherical, but most of it is not visible. Since you touched it, it has begun to grow brightly. You stare into its bright magnificence. Suddenly, something begins to happen. Holy Mordaclivian Moocow, Roger! You are getting a vision inside the Oracle. You start to make out the vision as things get clearer and clearer. It's definitely a ship out in space, and you can even hear what the aliens are saying. Boy, you sure get your money's worth with this Oracle. Okay, so you didn't pay a buckazoid. So what? We're approaching planet VMX574 now, Captain. I don't remember the voices I was using for most of these characters. Good. Put us in orbit and start a scan of the surface immediately. I think that was actually it. I want that escape vessel found. Right away, sir. Moving into orbit now. We've got everyone available on the scanners. We'll be in range shortly. The ship pulls into a stable orbit of the planet. We're in orbit, Captain. Orbit is stable, and we are in range to begin scanning the surface. Good. I want that ship found. I don't care how long it takes. Understood? Yes, sir. A full team is on it. We should find the vessel in no time. There's no telling what repercussions sending that ship crashing onto the planet could have caused. I think we had this conversation before, but maybe I'm wrong. We've got to find out who or what was on it and what effects it may have on the future time stream. Did we have any options if the life form is significant to a future time period, sir? Not if the life form is deceased. All we can do is hope either the life form has not no effect on any future time period, or if it isn't dead. That we find it in time to try and fix this mess. There was no way to know a vessel would get in the path, sir. I know. But it doesn't change the mess we're in if this life form is important. Could you be the life form they were talking about, Roger? Are those aliens looking for you and your little escape vessel? Only time will tell. But the next question is, what do they want with you, and what will they do with you if they find you? Perhaps you'd better get a move on to try to get off this planet before they find you. The vision begins to fade as the oracle gets cloudy, and then begins to go dark. I'm going for the gold on this one. One vision per customer, buddy. What do you think this is, anyway? Maybe you were planning on spending the next few hours down here just rubbing the ball. Well, you can't do it. Move along now, like a good janitor boy. Dang it! Okay. Okay, so now I'm up to 220. Now I gotta, explore around and stuff. Oh, right. Alright, so I think that's it for down here. I don't think there's anything else. I think it's all just. It was. Let's see. I remember I got the paper, which I still am kind of confused as to what I'm going to use it for. I used the oracle. Uh, I explored the crap out of everything this area, didn't I? I think everything else has probably got to do with that ship. Because I haven't really done anything inside of there. I've gone inside of it, but I don't think I really messed with anything. Oh, I think I've got the rock already, but I am going to test something. I'm only 35 points away from victory. Cool. Basically, what I want to do is try to. There was something I remembered back when I was playing around with it after I had stopped making videos. I kind of did a couple things here and there because I was kind of curious. So I'm going to make sure I actually did that in this go around. Arg. So while we're in transit, classes were actually a lot of fun, and there's a lot of training and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice because obviously there's a lot of people who've worked with a lot of these kinds of tools. They've worked with either an SCBA or they've taken some sort of class that is easily applied to whatever, to what we're doing here as firefighters. I, on the other hand, am starting out as a complete noob. Like, I have never done anything like this. So, all the training, all the classes, all that kind of stuff is really helping me out. And I feel like I've been learning it pretty, I've been getting the hang of it pretty well. Obviously, experience, there's nothing that's gonna, whew, obviously there's nothing that's gonna compare to experience. It's probably the most important thing. But if we're talking about if we're going to talk about just getting training, making sure that you know what you're doing before you go in, yeah, this has worked out really well. Okay. Now this is something I learned. Okay, there it is. The cave extends inward. Okay, and this is the thing. Okay. Oh, wait, there it was. Okay, so there it is. That is what I didn't think of. And I get the feeling that I was reading the fluff text and I totally missed it. You bend down, poke at the stones with a long bone. You hear some rustling above you, and you see something drop just above the stones. It appears there are more tentacles than the one with the eye. Luckily, you are standing far enough away from the stones that the tentacles miss you. They go back up to the roof of the cave, having found nothing. You carefully roll one of the stones towards you with the bone. You hear the creature moving above again, but quickly grab the stone and stand back. In your haste, you leave behind your bone. As bad as that sounds, believe me, it's for the best. So, uh, that was the 5 points right there. Oh no, I have two stones. I have a purple stone and a regular stone. I have no idea what it's for. But I have it now. Yeah, and that's the thing. I get so many items that seem like they're copies of each other that I'm kind of curious what all of this is for. But I'm sure it'll all make sense. Excuse me. I know that's probably coming through crazy loud through the speaker, through the sound and stuff, but ugh. Yeah, I got this little patch for extrication, so getting uh, it's interesting when they talk about it. They call it extrication, not extraction. Main reason being that you are not taking the person out of the car; you are removing the car from around the person. So it they name it something different than extraction. Let's see. I did notice that this game is very quiet. You know, like there's a few sounds here and there, which I guess it does make sense considering the older Space Quest games. Oof. Okay, so now I think I've got to figure out what to do in here. Because I'm sure there's something in here that I am completely missing. So I'm going to. Is there anything off to the east here? This is the ship's engine room. There's a large panel and screen on the east wall, as well as other screens, buttons everywhere. If only you had read that Engineering for Dummies data disc back on Xenon. There is a what? Yeah, I didn't read the Engineering for Dummies, but I can recognize a Caraxian warp converter on the north wall and a hitch on the floor near the south wall. Okay, let's go see if I can play with this stuff. what do they call it again? A hatch. Excuse me. The panel below the screen appears to control all of the major functions of the warp converter. You fiddle with the panel, pressing various buttons. Apparently you're getting good at this because a hatch begins to open. Oh my goodness, that is going to be so death. Thump! Apparently not noticing how far down this hatch goes, you walk right into it and fall to the bottom. Of course, shattering your spine on impact, you don't survive the fall. Maybe you should watch your step, Roger. You are now dead. Crap. Whoops. I'm really sorry for the coughing. The hatch is open, revealing a tunnel going down into the ship. From here, you can't tell what is down there. There's a ladder leading down into the tunnel. Oh my goodness. You carefully begin to climb down the tunnel. Ooh. You are in a room filled with electronic equipment. There is a compartment on the far wall, as well as a screen to its left, and a lever to its right. There is also a console on the east wall and a ladder going up on the north wall. Okay, we have a electronic equipment. Compartment, screen, lever, console, and ladder. Well, as Ringo would say, I'm a born Liverpooler. Apparently I'm pulling LeVar Burton. The console has a screen that does not appear to be functional at all. Many buttons and a switch protruding from the front. Oh, hang on. What does it call it again? There's a switch protruding from the front. Okay, flip switch. Okay, what else do we have? A compartment on the far wall. What compartment? Dang. Ah! Okay, so the compartment appears to be some kind of shielded compartment that houses two turbo rods. There's only one rod in the compartment at this time. Arr! You gotta be kidding me. I know I took that rod. I didn't take the rod. Okay. My continued apologies. Apparently, I will have to look again because I was almost positive I had explored the ship and I had taken some of the rods. At least one of the rods. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Because I know that my last episode started when I was in the little pod thing, right? which I believe was here. Alright. Right. I was here. And I guess for some reason I didn't take one of these things. I have to apologize. Again, after I ended up stopping for a bit, I basically played around with it a little bit. I wasn't trying to make any real progress, but apparently I thought that I was doing stuff. And I checked the save games, and I checked my videos, and I thought I had taken the rod, but apparently not. Well, at least I'm making all this progress in this video, and I'm actually recording it. Okay. What do they call it again? Compartment. Interesting. Yeah, I was thinking what was going to happen is I'd have to like pull the lever to put. I thought the lever, what it would do is, if it's on this side, it opens the door here, and then if it's over here, it powers this. So I was like, pull this, flip the switch, then that would happen. But apparently, it's a lot simpler than that. Compartment. There. Now, save just in case I miss something and I'm blowing everything up. Ah! With a second turbo rod in place and the radiation screen down behind the closed compartment door, you hear the power rods hum with life as the power goes coursing through them. You feel so proud that you managed to figure out how to get this thing operational. The only question is what exactly is functional now that the ship apparently has power? Wait a minute, did I just get the... I'm at full points! The largest screen in the east wall is the warp converter maintenance screen. The other screens hold no real interest to you, being as you can't for the life of you figure out what they do. They'll have readouts and the like on them since you got the power on, but they still offer no help to you. I'm gonna say before I just start pushing buttons. I just want you to push random buttons. I mean, jeez. Is that too much to ask? So does that mean like I'm about to walk out into the end of the game or something? Maybe the bridge has more stuff now. You feel a jerk under you and are quite surprised to feel the elevator moving downward. I thought they had elevator music there. Who knows? Uh, you step off the elevator. Fascinating. All right, well, we are at 30 minutes, so I'm going to say thank you, everybody, for dropping by again. I really appreciate it if you've come back from, during my hiatus and are actually looking at my videos again. I'm going to keep trying to put up content here and there. Obviously, kind of busy at the moment, but I'm going to see what I can do to pick out 30 minutes here and there. And it looks like my schedule's changed. I used to work basically Sundays, so I have Wednesday and Saturday off. Now it's Wednesday and Sunday. And Sunday is kind of a really nice kick back and relax day. So there's a very good chance I'll have time on Sundays to put up videos and stuff. So I'll see what I can do there, but I'm not going to make any guarantees because you never know when it's going to be a bad day and you got to go run and help somebody. But thanks again, everybody, for dropping by. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if this is your first time checking out the channel, and let me know what you think of the series down below. I always appreciate seeing feedback. But as always, you all have a great rest of your day.